evening, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Tonight I've picked out 5 examples of when my favorite song on an album is not officially on the album. These are 5 instances where my favorite song on a album actually is a bonus track or a song that was added on a later reissue or whatever. In one case, it was actually a song that was on a follow-up EP to an album that was written during the recording sessions of said album, but left off that album and put out on an EP the following year. So, 5 examples where my favorite song on an album is not on the original official track list. So, we're going to start off with a little bit of Big Country with this album right here, Steel Town. Their 1984 sophomore album. Decent album. I don't like this one quite as much as The Crossing or its successor, The Seer, but it's still a decent album. Pretty solid listen from start to finish, but my favorite song on here is actually Winter Sky. It's not on the original vinyl track list here. It's actually a bonus track on the 96 reissue and again on the 2014 30th anniversary deluxe issue. So I'm glad that Winter Sky has seen the light of day on those two because it's a great song. It's a bit softer. It's a really laid back tune, and even though the song is very soft hitting, Stuart Adamson's voice just sells it. I think he's a great singer, and it's just a tune that has kind of captivated me from the first time I heard it, and kind of blew me away. Well, I remember first hearing the song. It was after I listened to this album, and I come across it later, and I was listening to it. It's like, I don't remember this one. Come to find out, it's because it wasn't on the official album. So, Winter Sky, my favorite song on Steel Town, is technically a bonus track on the reissues. Next up, let's go with an album that has a song. There were a couple songs that were written during the sessions of this album that were left off this album and put on an EP the following year. The album that I'm talking about is Abacab from Genesis, and the EP in question, which I actually don't own a copy of, is 3x3. The song that I'm talking about is Paper Late. I love that song. It's very upbeat. It's got the horns, so it makes you feel like it's a Phil Collins solo track. It's very similar to No Reply at All, the second song on here, which also has the horns and kind of feels like a Phil Collins solo track. But I like it better. I think it's just a little bit more solid song. It draws me back more often than No Reply at All does. And if Paper Late would have been put on this album, it should have absolutely punted Whodunit. Whodunit totally does not need to be here. And especially when you got a great song like Paper Late in the Wings, it's kind of stinks that they left that one off. But it would be my favorite song on here, and the only one that I think would really challenge it would be Keep It Dark. So, Paper Late, my would-be favorite song on Abacab, but it was left off and it was put out on 3x3 the following year. Now let's go to a band that I really don't even care that much for, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Motley Crue, but their album, Girls, 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 only really has like 2 songs I like, and that's Wild Side and Dancing on Glass. Past that, I'm not a big Motley Crue guy, but there is a bonus track on the 2003 remasters called Rodeo. It's a softer song, a ballad. I really like that song. I really do. It might be one of my top 5 favorite Motley Crue songs, in all honesty, and I definitely like it better than any other Motley Crue ballad I can think of. But in my opinion, it smokes pretty much everything on the actual album. Its only real competition is Wild Side, because I mean Dancing on Glass is okay, but its only real competition on here for me would be Wild Side, and I think I like Rodeo better. So Rodeo from Girls, Girls, Girls. That's another one where my favorite song on the album is not officially on the original album. So from a band that I don't really like to my favorite band, Bon Jovi, and What About Now from 2013, Into the Echo, one of the bonus tracks on here. I love that song. I also love With These Two Hands. It's another great bonus song. And the fact that those two songs were left off the album and Thick as Thieves was put on it is a crying shame, in my opinion. But Into the Echo has always been one of my favorites, and I think has over time solidified itself as one of my favorites. Its competition on the album would be I'm With You and What's Left of Me, but Into the Echo very easily could be my favorite song of the album. Lately, it kind of has been. So, Into the Echo, my favorite song on What About Now, that is not part of the official track list because it is technically a bonus song. And our last example of this phenomenon is going to come from Twisted Sister and their 1987 album Love Is for Suckers. Now, I am a big fan of this album. I like this album a lot. I think this is kind of underrated, despite being the poppiest Twisted Sister album for sure. And the album itself, the proper album, has Wake Up the Sleeping Giant, which is a killer, quintessential Twisted Sister song, no doubt, and some other cool songs as well. But when you get the 2000 and I forget what year these Spitfire ones came out, but when you get the Spitfire edition, you get 4 bonus tracks, my bad. Feel Appeal, Statutory Date, If That's What You Want, and I Will Win. And If That's What You Want is my favorite song on this CD, even over Wake Up the Sleeping Giant. I've always loved that track. I've been drawn to it pretty much the first time that I heard it. It features my favorite Dee Snider lyric, probably. At least my favorite Twisted Sister lyric, I would say. We used to rock, oh, how we rock our nights away, and how I long, oh, how I long for yesterday, but that don't change the way I'm feeling today. I always thought that was a great line. And though it's technically not part of the original official album, If That's What You Want would be my favorite song on it. If it was, and it is my favorite song on this one that has the bonus tracks. Another honorable mention I want to give, it's technically a demo, but Rock You, I think that could have been turned into a really cool song if they had done it. But that demo for Rock You that's out there, that's from the Love Is for Suckers demos, that's really cool too. So there you go, 5 examples of when my favorite song is not actually officially a part of the album. Winter Sky from Big Country Steel Town, Paper Late from Genesis Abacab, Rodeo from Motley Crue's Girls, 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 Into the Echo from Bon Jovi's What About Now, and If That's What You Want from Twisted Sister's Love Is for Suckers. If there are any songs on albums that would be your favorite that are not technically part of the official album, let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and I will see you next time.